Hey, you all, Carpetbagger here, coming to you live from the north. More specifically, we are in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I'll just let you know it is great to be back in my car once again, being able to drive out on that long lonesome road with my car, my Chevy Equinox. It has been a long time, 4.5 months, finally out there traveling, visiting new things. And I think the first thing we're gonna visit, now that I'm back in my new car, is the American Sign Museum here in Cincinnati. This is an amazing collection of vintage signs. They have some signs out here in front, as well as an amazing collection of signs within. So please, follow me. So I guess this is pretty meta, the official sign for the American Sign Museum. A modern looking sign. So I guess they just maybe wanted to distinguish it from some of the more fancy neon signs here. Here's the El Rancho Motel sign. I know there are several El Rancho motels around on Route 66. And so I'm not sure if this is specifically one of those signs or just another hotel known as the El Rancho, but it does have some beautiful neon. This little character here, apparently his name is Pete. So I think actually Peter is the English version of the name Pedro. So here we see this mural of a painter painting a mural. These wall signs, these signs painted on walls, often known as wall dogs, is what I've been told to call them. And then over here, a very happy, gigantic bowling pin right there. Boy, does he look happy. Surrounded by these old factories here. Look what we have here. This is the ASM Hobby Pig, hashtag ASM Hobby Pig. I don't know what any of that means, but that is a really cool giant pig there. You see he's on a trailer so he can be carted all over the place. Look at that pig there. See some of those wall dogs over here, these beautiful painted murals along the walls here. I guess that is the Cincinnati baseball team. I forget the name of the Cincinnati baseball team. If you know the name of the baseball team from Cincinnati, leave a comment in the comment section. It says Pullman's Pharmacy. Those pharmacy signs that would say drugs along the side there. See, it looks like, yeah, like a beaker of some sort there pouring down from the top. Here is the Holiday Inn sign. I love the design of the old Holiday Inn signs. Yeah, there used to be quite a beacon out on the open road. The whole idea behind the Holiday Inn chain was that you could always stop at the Holiday Inn and it would be the same no matter where you went. So it took out some of the more unpleasant surprises of traveling. So I imagine this sign was quite a beacon to a lot of travelers. Here we have a slightly dismantled Arby's sign. They used to have that giant cowboy hat. Actually, you still can see some of the giant cowboy hats still in place. I think one of the interesting things about Arby's is there's some confusion over where the name came from. Arby's is actually just kind of spelled out, the initials RB, and some people say it's from the two brothers that started the restaurant. One had a name started with R, the other had a name started with B. And I've also heard that RB stands for roast beef, which they're famous for serving. Walking down this way, there's some other signs here on the side of the building. Yeah, over here on the side of the building, you have Neon Works of Cincinnati. So I guess, you know, in addition to having a museum, they do create and repair neon signs. Yeah, you can see over here it says Cincinnati Sign Garden. All these signs here on the side of the building. There's a sign for Jerry's Restaurant, little chef mascot. IGA, that's a grocery store. Does anyone know what Spanky's is? See, the Frisch's Big Boy, which is the Ohio branch of the Big Boy chain. We have slush puppies. Remember getting slush puppies from the local convenience store. Isidore's Pizzeria. This hammer here says Gross Hardware. Kind of cool, you know, having a hammer be the shape of the sign, given that a hardware store probably does sell hammers. And then here, right above the entrance, we have a genie there. I think that is a Carpeteria genie. They previously would advertise a carpet store. I think he maybe even had a roll of carpet there in his hands instead of a welcome sign. Here we have a little miniature version of the Holiday Inn sign. All right, and here we are entering the sign museum, and apparently Ohio is welcoming us. You can see the t-shirt there. Oh, we have Superman. Is he from Ohio? I forget. And then some candles there. I guess they smell like Cincinnati. Over here we can see some very old signs, like this giant wrench here. Yeah, it looks like, you know, hardware stores would have a giant tool on their signs. It makes sense because, you know, back then, you know, maybe people couldn't necessarily, everyone could read, everyone, you know, there wasn't as much education, so it would be helpful to just have your sign shaped like the thing you sold so that more people could understand what was going on. Yeah, a lot of these old signs shaped like what they sold. The shoe sign there, the drugstore sign shaped like the mortar and pistol, and there, the magnet store, I guess, store that sells magnets. And you can imagine that hat would be outside of a hat store or a haberdasher, if you will. You see Rena Chow for poultry and livestock there. Dorsal Seal of Kentucky flour. There's the art of the show card. Of course, I guess show cards, technically signs. You can see there's a poster for Dolly up there, Willie Nelson. And here we have like the art kits of some of the men that would create these show signs here. That old Vegas with the old cowboy on it. Yeah, very, very cool. Some of the paintbrushes. And here is the pre-neon or light bulb era of signs, where they would not use neon tubing, but just have a bunch of different light bulbs there. Does this say D of A? I wonder what the D of A is. So there's a Holy Bible there, the picture, and then a man's hand and a woman's hand holding each other. See this big boot here. This is Regal. You can actually hear the light bulbs flickering. Kind of like that noise there. As I was getting closer to the sign, I noticed these light bulbs actually give off quite a bit of heat. I can feel the warmth right here of the light bulbs. And here we have Big Boy. Of course, some people are probably familiar with a different version of Big Boy where he's holding the burger aloft and standing still, but this is actually Frisch's Big Boy, which is like the Ohio part of the Big Boy franchise. Their Big Boy looks a little different. Instead of standing still, he's kind of in a running motion, holding the burger out in front of him with that wild look on his face. You can also see that he has the slingshot there in his back pocket, but the sign over there says that the modern versions of Frisch's Big Boy do not have the slingshot. It's a very mischievous Big Boy here. Yeah, it's interesting because, you know, the Big Boy was kind of a franchise owned by different people in every state. And most of the other states use the Big Boy where he's standing still holding the burger up. But in Ohio, he looks completely different. Which one do you prefer? Do you like the classic Bob's Big Boy with a burger aloft, or the running Frisch's Big Boy? Leave a comment in the comments section. Headed into the neon era here. Missoula Drug Company. That one just says drugs. Of course, drugs back then, you know, meant more of like prescription drugs, not the illicit drugs that we may think of in modern times. Now look at all these beautiful neon signs here. Some shoe repair signs. Say Natural Bridge Art Shoe. Apparently shoe stores are big fans of neon. There's the gasoline sign there for the Pure Oil Company. Always did love the logo here for Sherwin-Williams paint. The Cover the Earth, showing paint being just poured all over the earth. I don't know. It also implies that covering the entire earth in paint would be a positive thing, when in reality it looks kind of destructive to the planet. And you can see all the different sort of businesses that would use neon sign. It's the Eagles Club. This is Hayford Brothers Glass Company. Even a church here, the United Pentecostal Church. Yeah, some real beauty in the art of neon. It's the plastic era, the 1950s, the 1970s. See the big plastic bus depot sign. There's our buddy Colonel Sanders right there. This big golfer here on the big plastic golf ball. Some of these familiar plastic gas station signs. There's the Shell gas station sign. Interestingly, the reason they're called Shell is because they actually sold shells. They were a gas station and a shell business, but apparently selling shells wasn't as big a part of their business as selling gas. So they eventually quit selling shells and just kept selling gas. See some of these other plastic signs there. Oh, there's the Cincinnati Barber College sign. That's pretty cool. And here is a establishment that would sell Texas wieners. I've seen this familiar shape to the sign before, this kind of distorted star leading down into an arrow. Over here we see this giant bear, giant neon bear. It's on top of these crates here. Apparently these are the original crates that these signs came in. So you have the wooden crate protect that neon, which I'm sure is easy to break in the transfer process. Was that Ham's beer? You can see the beer glasses there lighting up. There's the Howard Johnson signs. There's actually no more Howard Johnson restaurants. I think there is some hotels still, but the last Howard Johnson's restaurant closed just a few years ago in Lake George, New York. Here's the Skyview Motel. Says that this was a hotel in Kansas City, Missouri. Foster's Old Fashioned Freeze there. And we see the neon pharmacy sign. We saw earlier where the pharmacy would actually have a model of a mortar and pestle. And here Now that we've entered the neon age, it's now a neon mortar and pestle. It says, and always remember to provide pure rich milk for the colonial customers. You see the neon cow there telling her daughter to continue to produce good milk for colonial milk. See the motion there in the neon. And here in the center of this room, we have this giant rotating satellite-like object. This is from Satellite Shopland in Anaheim. I guess it was a strip mall in Anaheim right near Disneyland. Said that they did try to beautify the area near Disneyland. The Walt Disney Company, I guess, thought it looked a little junky, so they removed this sign. And apparently it says here that the current sign is just a normal plastic sign, but it actually has a picture of this satellite on it. Actually, next time I'm in Anaheim, I need to go look for that and see what the current sign looks like. It's a very large neon here on the wall. Let's see, Kona Lanes, be a Polynesian themed bowling alley, I imagine. So that giant wooden Coke bottle was used to make vacuum formed plastic Coke bottles. See this sign here painted on a fence for a Popsicle. I didn't know until recently, apparently Popsicle is a brand name like Kleenex or Q-Tip. I didn't know that. And as we turn down this way, we can see an old-timey street completely bathed in neon, all these massive neon signs. It's Georgiton's Pizza Restaurant. Here we have Acapulco Mexican food. And in these old buildings here, I have some old corresponding signs. There's Grantland's Barbershop here at the barbershop. Of course, the classic barber pole. But you also have some smaller exhibits in the window here. They have some lettering sets for sign making. Here at the TV repair shop, just where they fix radios and TVs. See, they have some smaller signs in the window, some smaller neon. The shoe repair sign there. Oh, I do love these this optometrist sign here with the neon glasses around the glaring eyes. You can see this massive Howard Johnson sign there. Apparently they had 28 flavors of ice cream. You can see the boy up there being served a pie. And down here, we have a non-neon version of the Howard Johnson sign. You can see the image a little clearer here, that it is a baker selling some pies to a boy and his dog. This amazing piece here is from an auto painting business in Compton, California. It says this could be seen from the LA freeway, and it actually says it has some bullet holes in it. Let's see if we can, oh yeah, there's one. I saw the bullet hole there. Oh, there we go. Yeah, genuine Compton, California bullet hole. Yeah, I really miss the era of the neon signs. Just love the way they look. I think at one point neon was considered to be displeasing to the eye. We reached a point in time where we began removing them, but yeah, I think enough time has passed. I think we need to bring back the neon. It's Marshall Field, the old department store here. Oh look, they even got a little fire hydrant there, and some smaller glass signs here in the window. We have Papadino's Pizzeria, and also Bone Cracker, Dr. Troy Hicks, Doctor of Chiropractic. And looking here in the window of the pizza restaurant, we have some more little signs. I do really like this one here for Pittsburgh Paints. You can see the paint pulsing through the letters. It's a shoe store here. See the shoe out in front. Actually, there's two shoes there out in front. Some neon in the window. And then the jewelry store next door here. These miniature signs in this window here are actually models that were designed before creating the full-size sign. See kind of a neon style sign there. And then this is a billboard, a model of a billboard there. And then down here, there's like a three-dimensional street model as well. It's the Army and Navy store there. Really cool how they incorporated these real restored signs into these storefronts. Here's Rose Hardware. And in the window, they have all these neon clocks. I do love the clocks. Let's see over here. Home cooked foods. There's Harman watches. I guess it makes sense to have a clock advertising a watch shop. I got another watch shop clock there. Yeah, look at those seconds tick away. The size of this McDonald's sign is unbelievable. Look at 15 cents back when McDonald's had 15 cents burgers. And this predates Ronald McDonald. You see their little mascot there. I think, quote me correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's Speedy was their original mascot, a little hamburger man. Just a speedy service system there at McDonald's. And even back then in old-timey times, they had already served over 1 billion burgers. Yeah, drugs in here, and right in here for drugs. I don't know that I'm familiar with Bubble Up soda. Has anyone heard of Bubble Up soda? I don't know that I've ever come across Bubble Up. We have a little gas station right here. Okay, and in here we can actually look at the neon shop where they're actually creating and repairing neon signs. You can see some neon there on the back wall. Yeah, you can see the gentleman there working on a neon sign there. Got some yellow neon that he's working on.
Oh wow, look, he's holding it.
Oh, there's matching it up to the paper there.
Weston, can you let Nora in front?
And these signs here are specifically signs of Cincinnati. It says 1950 to 1980. So these may be some signs that people from Cincinnati may be familiar with. If you are from Cincinnati, let me know if you remember seeing any of these signs when they were out in the wild. That's Habig's Home Cooking and Cocktails. You can see the liquor flowing out of the cocktail glass there. Over here we have Vic Casano. It says he is the Pizza King. It's pretty cool. And in this room they have a movie about signs you can watch. But look at there behind where the movie screens are, there is a mail pouch tobacco advertisement. They would paint these on the sides of barns. They're pretty rare to find them actually still on bars these days. But look at this over here. That is part of a Rock City barn. And yeah, these are increasingly rare. I think I've heard there's only 50 Rock City barns, less than 50 Rock City barns still left in the wild. They did advertise Rock City by sending a man around to offer to paint barns for free in exchange for putting the logo on there, the slogan for Rock City. So I'm not 100% sure. I couldn't find a sign if this is an absolute, if this is actually taken from a Rock City barn. I would assume so, since all the other signs here are legit. So that's pretty amazing. That's a pretty rare piece right there. See all the different lettering here. There's a big Burger King sign back there. Just like some random sign letters here. Oh, I like how this is just a sign that simply says sign. Hanging from the rafters here, we have the old Burma shave signs. The shaving cream company would put these along country roads. You can see, you'd read them as you drive by. It says, others claim their product good does what you think it should. Burma shave. As we exit through the gift shop here, they have some pretty cool stuff. You can see these little sign themed pins. I actually have this one. It was on my hat for a while. It ended up being taken off just because it was a little too big. And look at this magnet here. All the amazing signs on that one magnet. These are pretty cool, like old hotel key fobs. And Route 66 soda has become so popular that you can actually buy it even if you're not on Route 66. Now, I do believe this here is the most epic mural I have ever seen. We have a female George Washington there, head encircled by flying pigs. See, she's petting this cow here, and then underneath we have a purple gorilla pulling apart the lettering there, and a robot wielding a hammer. Now this is wow, this is remarkable. This is truly epic. Had seen the Frisch's Big Boy at the American Sign Museum, and then stumbled upon an actual Frisch's Big Boy. I thought about stopping here to eat. Unfortunately, see, my car is the only car there in the lot. It looks like this restaurant's closed down. It is no longer open. They still do have the statue out front, although someone probably needs to come rescue him before the vandals get to him and have their way. Yeah, look at that big delicious burger there with the oozing mayonnaise. And he does have the slingshot. They mentioned some of the newer ones don't have the slingshot in the back pocket, but he's got his slingshot ready to go cause some burger-fueled mayhem. It is interesting though, if you look on the sign here, it actually has the traditional Big Boy there holding the burger aloft. I often call that version Bob's Big Boy. But we have the Frisch's version out here in statue form out front. I guess we can take a peek in the window to see how abandoned they are here. Okay, it doesn't look, I don't know, it's all put away. It doesn't look like they are currently functioning. They do have the lights on inside, so I don't know, maybe they will be reopening at some point. Here we've stopped off at the birthplace of our 27th president, Mr. William Howard Taft. They do tours of this house. Actually, we're not going to take a tour of the house today, but there is something I wanted to check out here in the visitor center, which is next door to the house. In here we have an animatronic, and this is not William Howard Taft. This is actually his son, Charlie Taft. You can see he's out on a fishing trip here. You can see the stream in the background, the back of his car there. And let's see if we can activate him here. Let's see, I guess he talks about different things depending on what button you push.
Growing up the son of my parents was quite an experience, and from what they told me later, I guess I was quite an experience myself. My father, who was 40 years old when I was born, used to call me a tornado in need of some discipline. You've probably heard that when I was 8 or 9, Teddy Roosevelt's son, Quentin, me and some of our friends got the nickname the White House Gang. Like a lot of Taft boys, I was educated at the Taft School in Watertown, Connecticut, where my Uncle Horace was headmaster. Now, Uncle Horace had a great influence on me. He was a reformer. It's from him I got some of my liberal ideas. But even some of those who are not have had a tremendous impact. Take my Uncle Charles and his wife Anna, for example. Uncle Charles was my father's older brother. Because he and I have the same names, Charles Phelps Taft. Phelps was his mother's maiden name.
Yeah, they have an animatronic of Charlie Taft, but not William Howard Taft. But here is a cardboard cutout of our former president, Mr. Taft.
That's why I fought like mad to convince City Council to run I-71 under the park in a tunnel, not right through it like the planners wanted.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure why they went with Charlie Taft, the son of William Howard Taft, as the animatronic, but still no complaints. I think more presidential sites need animatronics, even if they're not animatronics of the presidents themselves. Here's another son of William Howard Taft. This is Robert Alfonso Taft. Apparently he's known as Mr. Republican. Speaking of old signs, pretty cool old Nikon sign painted on that building there. Drove down here to downtown Cincinnati. There's been something down here I've wanted to check out for some time. Here in downtown Cincinnati, we have Metrobot. This giant 27-foot tall robot here was built in 1988. Down here in downtown Cincinnati, it looks like it, according to the sign on its stomach, it's in front of the Contemporary Arts Center. Originally built in 1988 and then refurbished in 2014. Oh, look at Metrobot. I love Metrobot. There on his arm, it says explore the Creativity Center, free creative fun for all ages. Unfortunately, I don't think we have time today to check out the Contemporary Arts Center, the Creativity Center, if you will. But maybe sometime we'll come back and see what they have inside. I just wanted to come down and meet Metrobot. You can see his heart there on his chest. Let's cross the street here and get a better view of Metrobot. And here we have the backside of Metrobot. So he's got some wires there in his rear, a couple of screens here in his leg. You can see a test pattern right there. And look at this, on Metrobot's ankle, there is a payphone. Let's see, is there any chance this actually works? Let's see. All right, sadly there's no dial tone here on Metrobot. Whoa, it's ringing. The phone's ringing?
Yeah, it does that. Ain't nobody gonna say nothing.
Hello? Hello? There's no one there. No one. It's still ringing. I don't understand. I answered and there was no one there. Hello? Metrobot. Hello? Silence. Wonder who that was. All right, it was great to meet you, Metrobot, proudly representing downtown Cincinnati. Maybe sometime I'll have to look into what the Creativity Center actually is, since Metrobot seems to be a big fan, but it was a pleasure and an honor to meet you, Metrobot, and the mysterious phone in your ankle. I feel like this right here is designed to be skateboarded on. Like if they didn't want people to be skateboarding on this structure, then yeah. Sometimes you gotta avoid making things into literal skateboard ramps if you don't want people to skateboard on them. Okay, so the mystery was actually just revealed. Someone stopped me on the street and said, it was me. I was calling you on Metrobot. So apparently you can call the phone. You can't talk to the person on the line, but you can call it and make it ring to confuse people and to get people to pick up the phone and try to talk. So yeah, that's fun. Just it'd be really fun. I don't know. It'd be really fun if you could call and talk to people there at Metrobot. Apparently, you just call, it rings, and leads to confusion and amusement, also known as confusement. Now the other day I ate at Skyline Chili, which is always one of my favorite places to stop when in Ohio, but I know some people say that Gold Star Chili is actually better. So let's get some lunch here at Gold Star Chili. All right, got our bag of gold chili here. I got quite a few things. I wanted to run the full gambit. They did have like burgers and chicken sandwiches too, but I decided to stick with the chili products. Got the chili coney there. And yeah, let's just go ahead and give this chili coney a try. It's actually like a little half hot dog there. Oh my gosh. It's gonna be really tricky to eat without completely ruining my newly restored car. That's very good. That chili, very similar to Skyline. A very similar recipe. Honestly, I'm not sure if I could tell the difference in a blind taste test. That's very, very similar to Skyline Chili. All right, there is my three-way. It's chili and spaghetti, and then the three things: chili, spaghetti, and cheese. The cheese is separate here, so we have to pour this on ourselves. So we hopefully get this opened and not spill chili and spaghetti all over myself. Yeah, this may have been easier to do if I'd just gone in and eaten inside the restaurant. But yeah, it's very hot. This plate's very hot. Let's add the cheese on there. There we go. Let me just try some of this chili here. Try to get a good taste of the chili. Okay, there is some difference. There's a difference. I would say the cinnamon taste is more faint with Gold Star. I'd say there's more of a meatiness to it. I'd say a little more traditional. a little more towards like what you'd consider like normal chili to be outside of Ohio. Definitely has that cinnamon flavor to it. It's just not as pronounced. So that's kind of what I would say. The Skyline is more of a strong cinnamon flavor, a more distinct Ohio flavor. And while Gold Star has that flavor, it tastes more like a traditional chili. Of course, both are excellent. Now, I'd mentioned the other day, my favorite menu item currently at Skyline is the Chilito, which is a burrito with chili, and this is a Gorrito from Gold Star. So Skyline has the Chilito, which is a chili in a tortilla. This is the Gold Star version, the Gorrito. So let's get this sticker off here. We can see which one is better, the Chilito or the Gorrito. That's very good. Got sour cream in there as well, mixed with the chili. The main difference is this actually has Fritos inside, which adds a little bit of crunch. I would say if you like the crunch, the Fritos, go with the Gorrito at Gold Star. I think, all things said, I think I prefer Skyline. I would be perfectly happy eating a meal at Gold Star Chili. Everything here is very good, but I do think, given the choice of the two, I would tip the scale slightly towards Skyline. This is still amazing though. And we have landed back in North Carolina. I'm actually going to be attending my daughter's high school graduation this weekend. Got some family coming in from out of town, so probably going to be spending the next couple days with family. So if you don't hear from me within a day or two, don't get too worried. I'm just spending some time with family. I will be back here very, very soon, and we'll be getting back on the road again. Got some plans to pick up after this weekend, so I won't be gone too long, I promise. And I'm so excited to be back in my car. I know it's funny, I was like talking about being back on the road, but I never really left the road. But it's a different feeling being back in my own car, in my own vehicle that belongs to me. So I've got the car geared up for some adventures after the graduation. So hopefully you guys will stick with me and see the fun places we are headed in this car. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you like these videos, please subscribe. I travel around the country. I film roadside attractions, amusement parks, museums, haunted houses, and other fun stuff. If you'd like to help support the channel, consider contributing to Patreon. $3 or more will get you a postcard once a month from me to you. Also selling enamel pins in the Etsy shop, and still doing cameos, personalized messages, birthdays, anniversaries, or just for fun. All that information is in the description of this video. And of course, all that just goes to help keep this train on the track, this boat on the water, and this dirigible in the air. Till next time, my friends, this one's in the bag.